This video is brought to you by Man Cave Esport. Experience virtual reality at Man Cave Esport. Link on the description down below. Welcome back again to Coast Nation Fan TV, and today we'll be responding to Stuart Baxter's comments after the loss against Supersport United. Please make sure to like this video so that YouTube can spread it to more Coast fans like you. Let's go. Saturday, Chiefs loses to Supersport 1-0. Baxter is then asked, what is your response to the fans basically saying Baxter must go? And Baxter responds in a very weird way. He says that, one, if the fans want me to go, I'll go. It should have ended there. The fans were saying they want him to go, which means should have resigned right there and then. But then he moved on to saying, but if they think I'm not doing the job, which is not doing, because as we've seen, there's nothing great that comes out of Baxter and Chiefs these days. But then he moves on to say, and if the chairman thinks I'm not doing the job, then I will go. Now, Baxter, you're confusing me. I thought you said if the fans want you to go, then you'd go. But now you're saying if the chairman wants you to go, then you'll go. Which one is it? Is it the fans' decision? Is it the performance that will dictate whether or not you get fired? Or is it the chairman deciding that no, you are not good enough, now you need to leave? Because he kind of said three things in one, instead of just saying, look, it's not up to the fans, I'm not going anywhere because the Mtaungs think I'm doing a good job, and it should have ended there. But no, it didn't, because he knows that fans have no say in all this because of what the team, the Mtaungs, have basically laid out for him. I'm now starting to believe the people who are saying Baxter will not be fired at least until the end of the season. So if that's the case, then we're wasting our energy and time thinking Baxter will get fired anytime this season. Because as I said in the previous video, that Jessica doesn't think Chiefs is in a crisis right now. Now let's debunk what Baxter said, because Baxter thinks he's doing well, and that means he hasn't had a meeting that was like about reviewing a performance. I could listen, Baxter, you've not been doing well, we need you to improve, because we didn't bring you back here to just sit and have fun, but we brought you back here because we want you to win us more championships. And that's not the case. That's not what's been happening, and it doesn't look like that will start happening anytime soon. So I want to talk about some of the things that he said. He said that he's the only coach, he's the only manager who has led Kaizer Chiefs to any success in the past 20 years. And if I calculate very well, 20 years is like since 2002. Now, the first thing is that he's lying when he says that we've not won anything in the past 20 years if it wasn't him coaching. Because first of all, he did arrive 2012-2013 season and he helped us win the league. Good for your first season, and he didn't just win the league, he also won Nedbank Cup. Great, Baxter. And then 2013-2014 he won nothing. 2014-15 he did another double, which is a good thing because he won another league. And I don't want to underestimate what he has done for Chiefs. He won us 4 cups in 3 seasons that he was in charge, and that is good. Like, because for most coaches this is what happens. They usually say, we're still building, first season, second season, and then they start winning. And to be honest, that's how it works for other coaches as well. You look at Jurgen Klopp at Liverpool, that's what happened. He arrived in 2015, but he only started winning like in 2019 the Champions League, and then 2020 the Premier League. But since he arrived to Klopp, he took Liverpool to the finals. So Baxter, by the standards of most coaches, actually did well in his first season. Winning a double, it's not easy. It's good, but it's not just that we hadn't won anything in the previous seasons, because we had won the league 2003, 2004, and then again 2004 to 2005. I know that's a long time ago, but I'm counting the 20 years that he claims to have been the only king. And then MTN 2006 and 2008, I'm reading because I want to be accurate. Telkom Knockout 2003, 2004, 2007, 2009, 2010, Nedbank Cup 2006, a total of 8 cups which were not won by Baxter in the past 20 years. So he lied. He just let his arrogance take advantage of him, which is not good, because you shouldn't just be emotional about these things. You should also think things through before you answer. With Baxter, the way he said Uguti he's doing well, what is it doing well? Because if you are doing well, then you cannot be getting beaten by other teams that are not winning games, and then they only come and start winning against you. You are drawing against other teams that are fighting relegation, and all of the time you are saying the team is doing good, the team is being built. What are we building? You cannot tell me you are building with a 35-year-old as your captain, and then another 31-year-old as your defensive midfielder, and another 30-year-old who's supposed to run box to box, and a defender who is playing out of position one, and you expecting him to play as a centre back while all his career he's been playing as a right back, and clearly there are better options that can play in that position. So if I think about it, this is not actually building, it's just you trying to figure out what works, and it's clear that it's not working, because if it was working, then we would have won at least 1 cup this season. We wouldn't be number 4, and it doesn't even look like we will end up being number 2, because Royal M is performing week in and week out. We are not. And here's the thing, we need to also appreciate Baxter. You know, this season he's doing horrible. Since he returned, he's not been good, but the first time around he did get the team firing, if I would say. But the squad that he coached back then was a much younger squad. You had Katsande was 26. You had Umasang was 22. You have Ushabalala, arguably was in his prime at 27. George Malulega was there. George Libisi was 23. Upaka was 26. He had just returned from playing overseas, and all of these players were playing well. And Mautatu Pega, yes, we did have Ochos that were over 30, but they were not playing every single game, just like he's doing with Onang and Alexander these days. So it's confusing. Then Uguti, first of all, the age difference. The players back then were younger, now they are much older, but you still want to play those same players. And the second thing is that when you look at our player roles back then, Urenelo Letsolonyane at 30 in the 2014-15 season, he wasn't playing and wasn't expected to play like Cole is doing right now. Letsolonyane was sitting deep most of the time, and then was distributing Ebola lapha nalapha. He was playing through balls to Oshabalala, who were younger and could just run and score a goal or cross. It was easy. He wasn't playing with Letsolonyane as a box-to-box midfield. Even the quality of Letsolonyane, compare Letsolonyane no Nangi, there's a huge difference. It's just like north no south nje, because equality. Buki phase phiko Letsolonyane wayekwazi nokujika abadlali. Unange uvela athi dize njengamboni nje groundini ukuthi kahle kahle lo mjita, what is it doing? So then I'm like, man, you cannot be expecting 2014-15 to be replicated with the squad Sindala esikhona manje. And I think one of the things vele, which is one that is important, ukuthi ibhola has evolved bafethu. Let's not lie. Ebola has evolved. If you look around Ikadzozwane or 2000s, 2001, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Ebola bedlalo lapha 4-4-2. Atazwane was my role model, traditional winger, ukuthi why kwakunele style asenza ngathi ushayisikela then aphume ngapha esayidini elayinini. That's the thing, ukuthi back then a winger takes on a full back, ahambe ayo cross baller, kube a cross, kungene goal, or kube a cross somehow. But manje sekudlalwa more inverted wingers, people who take the ball in and cut in. And yes, he's trying to do that, but he's trying to do that in a 2008 or 2012 way. Ebola has evolved a lot, even since 2015. Sekunomehluko omkhulu. Back then wawungajabula ukuthi abantu badlala 4-4-2, but manje abantu they're exploiting 4-4-2. into abayenzayo bavele badlala i-4-3-3, and the moment udlala i-4-3-3 against i-4-4-2, now you have a numerical advantage against abantu abadlala nga-2 esiswini because wena udlala nga-3 in the middle. So you cannot be expecting those tactics that worked back then to work right now. Ama-formations abesetshenziswa back then awasebenzi right now. I touched a bit on the previous video about how Chelsea, Belgium play system 3-4-3, but they do better than Chiefs. And that's because bona, they don't just set up abadlali and just say go play. Abadlali have specific things, instructions that they have to adhere to. They don't just go out and play, which sometimes seems like it's the case with Kaizer Chiefs. So ibhola liyashintsha, ibhola liya-evolve. You prepare for each match differently. Like everyone knows, well, not everyone, but if you've noticed ukuthi, when Man City plays, they usually invert their fullbacks, bangena eswini, and then oyedwa nga-overlap, but omunye wesithathu ungena eswini, owesibili njalo ungena eswini, to make a midfield ukuthi ibe ne-stability, to be able to break ama-counters of the other team. But bathe bedlala ne-Liverpool bakushintsha konke lokho manje, ama-fullbacks aba-overlap. Why? Because they were trying to exploit i-highline ye-Liverpool ukuthi mazidlala ngale ngemuva kune-spaces available that we can run into and play ama-cross that people will run into. And vele kwenzakalile, uJesus, that's how he scored the goal, ukuthi exploited the space that was out wide. Bengasekho uku-inverter, but bese kuwukuthi I know ukuthi there's a space ngapha, because the moment kuyi-set piece they try to push up, and then we exploit that space, and it worked. But with Chiefs, it doesn't look like we prepare for each game based on who we're playing. It's like we have a plan A for every team. Uguti Sundowns idlala back 3, but still so prepare the same way as we prepare for a team idlala back 2. So akukuthi we approach games differently. We prepare for each game ngendlela ehlukile. It's like we always saying 3-4-3 asiboneni kwenzala namhlanje. So you cannot then tell me ukuthi you are doing well, you are building, because nobody's seeing that. It seems like it's only the coach and maybe the chairman, his sons, his daughter, who see ukuthi Chiefs is doing well, because for the rest of us, we don't see that. Let me know what you think about Baxter's comments down on the comment section below, and until next time, remember, Ecos, Alpelo Moy.